Welcome back to the Quiet Lesson. In the modern corporate world, the most brutal battles rarely involve shouting matches or public arguments. They take place in silence, through missed invitations, withheld information, or subtle psychological manipulation. When opponents intentionally set traps or push you into a corner, panic or emotional outbursts will only cause you to fall into their trap faster. True wisdom lies in keeping a quiet composure to read the board, allowing you to deploy strategic moves that dismantle every form of deception. Today, let's step into 3 compelling stories about Ethan, Maya, and Marcus. 3 sharp lessons on neutralizing workplace tactics and reclaiming your personal standing. Story 1. The Trap of Quiet Firing and the Art of Re-engaging. Ethan was an experienced product director at a financial institution. Following a major executive shakeup, Ethan began noticing subtle anomalies. He was suddenly left off key strategic meeting invites. Core projects under his supervision were quietly reassigned, and his emails to leadership were met with silence. This was the classic quiet firing tactic, a cold corporate maneuver designed to make professionals feel isolated, unvalued, and voluntarily resign without triggering severance payouts. When pushed into this corner, the natural impulse for many is to panic, withdraw into self-doubt, or confront management in anger. But Ethan chose strategic composure. He refused to sit back and wait to be erased. Ethan executed a strategy of restoring influence. Instead of waiting for assignments, Ethan used quiet focus to audit the entire operational landscape. He uncovered a critical operational risk in leadership's new flagship project, a blind spot the new team lacked the experience to handle. Rather than rushing into a private meeting with his boss only to be dismissed, Ethan calmly presented a comprehensive risk analysis along with a polished, actionable solution during the all-hands company review. Ethan's undeniable foresight and deep expertise forced the executive board to publicly acknowledge his value in front of the entire company. The quiet firing scheme completely dissolved. Ethan not only reclaimed his authority, but proved a vital truth. You are only isolated when you allow others to dim your value. Story 2. Handling Information Hoarders. Maya was a newly appointed data analytics lead. To ensure a smooth transition, Maya needed historical data and operational workflows from Greg, a senior team member who had just been passed over for the promotion in favor of Maya. Resentful, Greg chose passive resistance through information hoarding. Whenever Maya requested documentation, Greg cited urgent priorities, sent incomplete files, or handed over chaotic data dumps. Greg wanted to prove that without his hands-on guidance, Maya would fail miserably. Many new managers would lose their temper, threaten disciplinary action, or report the issue to upper management immediately. But Maya understood that without hard evidence, complaining about a colleague makes you look vulnerable and deficient in managerial skills. Maya chose a strategy of public systematization. She hosted a brief team alignment meeting and established a centralized, shared tracking dashboard on the internal portal, visible to the entire department and the executive director. On this dashboard, Maya explicitly outlined each data handoff milestone, firm deadlines, and designated task owners. Whenever sending requests to Greg, Maya attached a link to this public dashboard, writing politely, "Thank you, Greg. To ensure our department meets the executive presentation deadline this Friday, I have updated the handover milestone for File X on the portal. Please upload the file by 3 p.m. Greg's scheme was instantly dismantled. If he failed to deliver, his delay would trigger a public red indicator visible to top leadership. Realizing he could no longer hoard information in the shadows, Greg was forced to hand over the complete dataset cleanly to Maya. Never argue with an information hoarder with mere words. Bring every transaction into the light of structured processes, because deception can only survive in the dark. Story 3. Overcoming workplace gaslighting. Marcus was a business strategy analyst working under David, a manager proficient in subtle psychological manipulation. David frequently issued verbal directives, but whenever results fell short of executive expectations, he readily denied his own instructions and blamed Marcus. "I never told you to take that approach. You misheard me again." Or, "I reminded you to verify that section last week, didn't I?" David's firm assertions caused Marcus to constantly second-guess his own memory and professional competence, leading to severe burnout. Recognizing he was being gaslit, Marcus immediately ceased all verbal self-defense. He understood that debating a manipulator over memory is a battle you cannot win. Marcus shifted to a paper trail strategy. From that moment on, following every brief conversation with David, Marcus sent a concise, polite follow-up email. "Thank you for the guidance, David. Per our discussion at 10 a.m., I am confirming the 3 key action items you directed below." Simultaneously, Marcus archived all document edit histories and project messaging logs on the cloud. Weeks later, during a major review meeting, David attempted his usual tactic by blaming Marcus for an inaccurate dataset. Marcus remained entirely composed. He calmly pulled up the confirmed email from 2 weeks prior, containing David's explicit approval, and projected it on screen. "I executed this strictly according to the directives approved in your email on the 15th. You can review the record here." David froze in the face of undeniable proof. From that day forward, David never dared to use Marcus as a scapegoat again. When facing manipulation, do not rely on emotion to prove your point. Transform ambiguity into clear data, because objective evidence is the only force capable of crushing deception. Workplace challenges will always arise without warning, but it is your inner calm, resilience, and wisdom that will allow you to stay in complete control of your own journey. Thank you for spending your valuable time reflecting with the quiet lesson today. If this lesson brought value to your journey, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so we can continue to walk together, listen, and cultivate quiet strength every week.